Austin Community College Alumni Association. I'm also the District 5 representative in the TRAA. And this is?
I'm Catherine Lyon, and I'm the treasurer of the LPM Alumni Association.
So we drove all the way from Austin. It was a very long drive on a Friday night. It took us an hour to get out of Austin. So, and then the craziness on the highways here is even crazier with all the construction. And it looks like this is get started. So we're going to talk to you about letters of recommendation. We have a little handout here. I'm just going to go over that real quick. Really, the PowerPoint is about that. Things to consider when you're getting a letter of recommendation. Ask at least 2 weeks in advance from your employer or professor. These people have lives too, so you need to take into consideration that they may have to go to a birthday party for their kid, or do some grading, or have to go to a conference if they are just an employer. So these are things to think about. So you may have to go to classes and work, but they also have to go to classes and work or conferences or whatever. Like my boss was out all week this week. Like I have to take into consideration his schedule when I ask him for letters of recommendation. And I have done all of this recently. So it's not just students that do this, it's also people in the regular workforce who ask for letters of recommendation. Please be courteous when you ask for a letter of recommendation. So yeah, they have crazy schedules, we know this, just as crazy as yours. But most cases, people are willing to write you a letter of recommendation. And if they can't, they'll let you know, which is great. So, but speak to the person directly that you want to ask for a letter of recommendation. Don't email them or call them on the phone. Actually go visit with that person that you want to write a letter of recommendation. It puts a face to the letter. If it's a teacher, they see hundreds of faces a day. If it's a Phi Theta Kappa advisor, they see even more faces a day because they have their students and they have their Phi Theta Kappa students. So they have a giant group of people to remember names and faces. So go visit with them. You may need to ask more than one person for the same letter of recommendation. There are a few things you might want to consider about this. Some letters of recommendations are blind, so you don't get to read the letter before it's sent, which I personally do not like. But I understand the reason why, because they want an honest response from the person writing the letter. So, for example, when I had letters written recently, I didn't see any of the letters written. Luckily, I trust those people that I asked to write those letters. So they had written letters for me before when I applied to my undergrad and my grad school, and they had done fantastic jobs before, so I was not worried about asking them to write more letters for me. But you might need to ask more than one person. So someone might not be able to fit it into your schedule. Someone just might flake out. Someone might not write a grammatically good letter. I've seen it happen. So, and it's happened to me. I asked somebody to write a letter, and it didn't turn out any way that I thought it would be. So I had a backup. The letter writer might want to have a short interview with you. So make time in your schedule to help them write your letter. This letter is for you, but you need to help make this letter what you want it to be to get to that goal that you want. You want the Jack Kent Cooke scholarship? You need to do the work to give to the letter writer so that they can do the work for you. I know my advisor at Austin Community College always sits down with people and has a short interview, even if she knows the person. I've known my advisor since 2005. We still sit down and have a conversation. So it's not something that you should stress about. Just be relaxed, go in there and have a nice little chat about what your goals are and things like that. Yes, do you have a question? No? Just starting. Does anybody have any questions about that? Yes.
Can I just add something?
Yes, please.
Especially for advisors. It is perfectly okay, and students, please expect this, to ask a student to not only provide the resume or vita and the information that's needed in the letter, but also some people will say, can you draft something for me, so they get a feel of what it is the student's wanting. Now, never would I submit just that letter. But I can't tell you how many times a student will come in and say, hey, I need a letter of recommendation. I'm not talking about the account of students now. And then I'll say, great, I'm going to need this, this, this. I'm going to need to meet with you, and then you draft kind of what you're looking for. And they get irritated. You're asking me to do something to help you. Take advantage of that. That's a gift, actually. If someone asks you to write your own letter, that's a gift for you, because that's letting you decide what is it that's most important that's not other places in my application. And then that also leads to share the key items you need and what else is already getting written down for somebody else.
Yes. You get out of it what you put into it. So you got to do the work. Yes.
Also tell your advisor or your faculty the deadline, and if it's supposed to be,
We're getting to that here in a second. Catherine is going to talk to us about a package, a nice neat little package that you will put together and give to your letter writer. So I'm going to give it over to Catherine real quick.
All right, so when you want to ask for a letter of recommendation to your advisor or employer, make sure you have all of this stuff that I'm going to go over before you ask, because otherwise they're going to do like these advisors. We need this, we need this, we need this. So just be prepared. So first you need to know the purpose of the recommendation for the source. So why is that award or that scholarship asking for a recommendation? So you need to have a purpose of why they want you to get a recommendation, and then you also need to let your writer know why you're actually applying for this scholarship or the award or whatever you need this letter for. Along with that, you need to also include all the requirements of actually getting the award, scholarship, or whatever, so they can see through your vita or whatever that you actually qualify for it, so then they can kind of work off of what you've already done to make a good letter. You also need to let them know if they need to mail it direct or if they need to get back to you and then you submit it with your whole application, or if they need to email it. So you just need to let them know how whoever is going to be looking at this get a hold of it. You also need to include your major and your GPA. That may not be included on your vita as we talked about before, or it could be, so just make sure that those two things are included if that's what you need to get whatever you're going for. Along with that, you just don't just include anything from Phi Theta Kappa. You need it all organizations, all volunteer opportunities, leadership positions, anything you've done that applies to what you're trying to win and get awarded. That's what you need to include, so your writer can say, you know, she was a leader on this committee, and this is why it would go towards the requirements. And then if your educational goals and professional goals, so if you're actually going to transfer or something like that, and there's a transfer scholarship, you need to let your writer know that this is why I'm going for it, and this is why I'm actually trying to transfer. So I'm going to be a veterinarian or a doctor or whatever, and they need to know where you're going so they can say that, yeah, this person is going places, and you need to, you know, award them for their great stuff that they've done so far. Like Jenny was saying before, the writer may request an interview, so if they don't, then make sure you include a small biography of yourself so they can actually know who you are if you're not like super familiar with the professor or advisor. Even if you are, like Jenny said, our advisor still sits down with us and says what's going on with us right now. So just kind of make sure you make any notes about what's going on right now in your life that applies to the award or whatnot to what you're going for. And then, as Candace was talking about before, the curriculum vitae or a resume that's specific to the thing you're applying for. You don't need, like Jenny's 20-something pages, just a few pages that says, this is why I am qualified and deserve this award. So I think we're going to have...
We have this handout that was sent around. It's just like a perfect checklist. And I actually print this out, give a printed copy to my letter writers with this on top so they have the basic information right there with all the details behind it, binder clips, bound, whatever, so that they have this and you know that you've provided everything to them.
We're going to email. We can email it, right?
Yeah, it's going to be emailed out along with everything else.
So we have a little exercise for you guys to do.
And this is what Candace was talking about a few minutes ago. So you're going to write your own letter of recommendation, like Laura was talking about. Just draft something up real quick. We're going to give you 10, 15 minutes for this. So you're going to find that it's really hard for you to write about yourself without all that information. It's hard for you to write about yourself. Imagine what it's like for someone who doesn't live your life or know your goals or where you want to go. So just there's some instructions like, what is this letter for? And why do you deserve this award or scholarship? So there's some instructions up here, and they're also in this other handout that you got down here at the bottom. So if you can't read the screen, it's right here in this gray section. If you all need help, just raise your hand, or if you all have any questions, we'll be around to help out. So we're going to get started, and we'll just walk around and see if you need anything.
I just stopped that.
Okay, so we're ready for a break?
Yes.
Okay, before we take a break, I have a couple of announcements. First, in the back with the drinks, there is 2 cups. One is for the Pop Tops from the cans. You know, the alumni, I don't know if you know that, we save those. So we would like you to do, and the other one is for the plastic tops from bottles, because we save that for a former international officer in Illinois, so we send those to them. So there's cups back there if you can put those in there. The second thing we've been asked by Montgomery to ask, if you are planning on staying for their Halloween party that's after this tonight, could you raise your hand so they can kind of get an idea for the numbers?
Oh.
Okay, come on, Northlake. I know y'all are staying.
Yes, Northlake stays for dream.
And I know Montgomery's staying.
Absolutely.
So you have 18 cans? So 17 I know from Northlake, plus your chapter. So I know there's that. Anyone else planning on staying? Everyone's just staying. Okay. Anything else you needed to know? Okay, so how long do you want to take?
10, 15 minutes, that's what we
Let's go about 10, 15 minutes, and then we'll come back in and go to the next topic. If you haven't signed in yet, make sure you sign in for door prizes, as well as they can choose.
Perfect, thank you.
Do I need to go off on the Lone Star Visitor Lane does not work very well, so it's better if you go to Lone Star. Alright, an identity is capital G, and then this number. You know what, I'm gonna go write it. No, it's not lowercase, let me go write it. Yeah, it's confusing the way it's written here. Yes. You may have to scroll There should be this area. Yeah, and it's lowercase d, lowercase c, 0101. You are very welcome.
Oh, no, I only take up my chapters first because they don't have it.
Gotta compare the name brand to whatever this is. Which one's better? Like, you know the Girl Scout cookies that are, how much are a box of Girl Scouts? So I'm really in love with Thin Mints right now, and Walmart sells this off-brand that tastes like Thin Mints, but they're like $2. But I'm not used to I want cookies. If it was something more useful, like not cookies, I would totally go with it. The weather.
Nothing where I put it in my mouth. I'm like, okay. If you're just shoving your mouth, you want to see it. I had to concentrate.
Yeah, I want to read it.
West Coast represent.
Next motion
everything's been submitted, please write an actual letter on an actual piece of paper to whoever you ask to write your recommendation, saying thank you. They took time to help you out. You should please thank them. Also,
Handwrite it.
handwrite it, type it, sign it.
No, don't type it.
Don't type it.
Handwrite it.
I don't care.
Laura was even saying someone,
30 minutes writing your letter of recommendation, you can take 5 minutes handwriting.
Laura was saying that someone even brought her like a banana with a little note attached saying thank you, or some bath crystals saying thank you. Something small, like easy.
We do have some chairs down here if we need them as well.
Also, who's doing competitive edge?
We're done.
We're done.
Finished.
A lot of the letter writing stuff then is already done for you. You have to do some of this stuff for competitive edge. So use that information that you've done in competitive edge. That's what it's there for. And I think Candace now is going to talk about the common application, which is used for the Coca-Cola scholarships and some other stuff like that. So we're going to go ahead and talk about that now. Thank you.